Os livros na estante já não tem mais tanta importância. Do muito que eu li, do pouco que eu sei, nada me resta, a não ser a vontade de te encontrar. O motivo já nem sei, nem que seja só para estar ao seu lado, só pra ler no seu rosto uma mensagem de amor. Uma mensagem de amor. Os livros na estante já não tem mais tanta importância. Do muito que eu li, do pouco que eu sei, nada me resta, a não ser a vontade de te encontrar. O motivo já nem sei, nem que seja só para estar ao seu lado, só pra ler no seu rosto uma mensagem de amor. Mensagem de amor. Ninguém me ama, ninguém me evita, mesma maneira que você. Minha vida inteira jamais procurarei alguém que ame o meu amar como você. Não tenho medo nem insegurança. O sol nascerá e tu virás. Tenho confiança na sua intentação, tão conectada como um tendão. Eu tenho confiança na sua intentação, tão conectada como um tendão. Acredito em você, sei que tu tenho confiança em você, sem dúvida tu virás. Sei que tu virás, sei que tu virás, sei que tu virás, sei que estaremos mais conectados dia a dia. Amor antigo, mesmo que o tudo vem, mesmo quando estarei velha, sempre jovem a você.
Peace, peace, peace. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. Well, it's good. Come on in.
It's not a problem, no, 'cause I know what I'm getting into.
All right. Come on in, y'all.
Nothing can stop me, no, 'cause I'm addicted to what you and I realize. Lead the way, I follow, no need to say where we are heading now, babe. I follow to the edge of it all. So tell your good night, 'cause I'll buy no matter what, yeah. Susceptible now, before the moment flies, before it flies. So tell your good night, 'cause I'll buy no matter what. Susceptible now, before the moment flies.
Hey. We are back.
You want to come home with me tonight? It's been a while.
So what is it this time? You just want to be held, or you want the LD?
What you think it is? I want the LD, baby. And then I want to be held. That's all right with you?
You know me. It's my duty to please that booty.
Peace and blessings to everyone that's out there tonight. You are here of another episode of the Black Bottom Rozcast. I am your host and humble host with the most, with the coast, and the boast. I'm Dr. Manhattan. You see me, I'm on 2 times on this screen. I'm talking to you and I'm commenting at the same damn time. Dr. Manhattan is in the house. No, I'm just playing. I am Ross Lee. I'm your humble host. What's up, Big Mike? I see you. You know what I'm saying? It's all good. And happy Tuesday to everybody. I hope everyone is doing well. I hope everyone is I hope everyone had a great weekend. And I hope everyone is striving to be the best version of yourself. I had to do some tweaking with what I had going on. You guys don't hear any feedback because I see last week. I know you did.
Behave. Yeah, baby.
Shout out to everyone that's tuning in right now. Shout out Big Mike. Shout out True Finder Jackson. Shout out Dr. Johnson. Shout out to my wifey, OG Fun Size. Shout out to everyone that's watching in the bushes, watching on the replay gang. You know what I'm saying? It's an echo right now. Is it an echo right now? Let me know. If it's an echo right now, we'll be talking. Give me a 1 in the chat. Hold on, let me try to. It's an echo. Okay, hold on. Can you hear echo now? Do you hear an echo now? You still hear an echo? Do I sound clear first off? If I sound clear, great. But if I got an echo, let me know. Check. Is it still an echo? Is it still an echo? Let me know if it's still an echo. I know I don't hear any. Is it still an echo right now? Let me know. I cleared it. Okay. Hold on. Let me, what about now? Is it better now? Okay, cool. Yeah, last week I had a lot of like sonic feedback in the background. You was hearing like humming noise. This week I got an echo. All right. It is what it is. You know, I'm struggle streaming, you know. I'm broke, y'all. I'm broke. Okay, thank you. Yeah, like I said last week when I went to listen to it, a lot of times I don't listen to my live streams after the fact. I just put it out there in the stratosphere and let it do its thing. You know what I'm saying? Oh yes, I know it was. Shout out to y'all.
Behave. Yeah. Yeah, baby. Yeah.
Unlike a lot of podcasters that are into male advocacy, like I said, I'm not a red pillar, I'm not a black pill, definitely not a pink pill. I do advocate for the men, but I do hold us accountable. Yes, we do a lot of reaction videos looking at some of the ratchetness that we see in our community. And I'm only speaking about the black community because this is the only community that I really are focusing on to give information, to have discussions, to show case studies of things so we all can try to strive to be the best version of ourselves. You know, I know a lot of the woman bashing kind of gets to some women. It's understandable. Just like a lot of us men see a lot of platforms where there's a lot of women that do a lot of male bashing. We can all concur to that. With that being said, if there's valid things that are going on that are being discussed and being talked about, that you might have some issues that you might need to yeah, deal with. One, if it doesn't apply, let it fly, of course. But if there are some things that are being said that triggers you, whether it's men or women, maybe these are things that you might want to look within yourself to figure out what it is that you can do to improve on those deficiencies. You know, there's been a lot of things that I've done in my past that I am not proud of. I can admit when I've been wrong. I can admit and I can take accountability for the mistakes and the decisions that I've made. It wasn't mistakes, they were decisions. Okay, just like how last week's episode was, it's not issues, it's you. So we can't go blaming other people. Well, I grew up in a bad household, or my daddy wasn't around, my mama used to beat me every Friday at 6 o'clock before I ate. Shit like that. We can't make an excuse. True enough, are those traumatic things that happen, traumatic situations that might take place? Sure, but at the same time, these are things that we can all correct. You know what I'm saying? Isn't that right, Dr. Manhattan? But yeah. Dr. Manhattan in the house. And speaking of Dr. Manhattan, some of you ladies on this T app are really doing the most. A lot of what you said made me look at myself. I changed myself. I got my man. Hey, shout out to you. Also, can y'all hear my effects in the background? I know they're kind of lower than they was last week. Last week they was like super high and shit. But if you can hear my sound effects in the background, comment in the chat. You know, put a one in the chat if you can hear them. Y'all can hear that, right? Yeah, they definitely do the most. But if you can hear my background, my chats, okay, you can hear them. Okay, cool. All right. Well, then I got it. And right. We're gonna talk about some of the ills of the T app a little later in the video. All right, thank you. Thank you. Like I said, I'm struggle streaming. I'm not double streaming no more. I'm struggle streaming because I'm broke. I'm broke. Um, so if anyone's more willing and able to donate to the channel, feel free to do so. Cash App is pinned to the top. The Cash App is scrolling on the screen. Oh yeah, also Dr. Johnson, I did get your email last week about one of your ideas for a future show. And yeah, I will work on that. I will work on that soon. I don't know if it's going to be this Friday, but I will work on it within the next few weeks. Okay, that's fine. Whenever, penny, nickel, dime, quarter, a whole bunch of ones beats a whole bunch of nuns. All proceeds that I do, in fact, get for the channel, I am going to put back into the channel to help improve. I do need a soundboard, maybe a better mic, um, definitely maybe some cameras here and there, some extra cameras to give different angles of the show and things like that. That's going to all come in time. Surely need more subscribers. So please like, share, and subscribe to this video. If you are new, tell a friend and tell a friend and tell a friend to tune in to the Black Bottom Roscast. But basically what I was saying, um, yeah, all things that is going to be worth something, it all takes time. It's not going to happen overnight. You know, creation wasn't in a night. So with that being said, yeah, things are going to come when it comes in due time. But what I was saying is there are a lot of things that is plaguing our communities. And I'm speaking of the Black sisters and brothers. And it's how we communicate with each other, how we deal with each other, how we handle rejection, how we handle criticism, how we handle constructive criticism. There's a difference between being criticized and being criticized constructively. There's some people that criticize you because they want to down you and make you feel a certain way. There are other criticisms that are constructive that are used to help you, to educate you, to make you see yourself in a proverbial mirror, to look at yourself in a better light. What I've always tried to do with this platform, yeah, we joke around, we bullshit, we chop it up, we fellowship, we network, and things of that nature. But the one thing that I do want us to do as people is to learn and to improve ourselves, to get better in the things that we do out here. It's not easy being who we are in this society. There are a lot of things that has been against us over the course of a lot of years. And some of us forget these things. Some of us slide these things under the table and under the door and hide their hands and forget these things. We are our own and our best thing. I can't think of the word right now that I'm looking for, but we are our own worst and best enemies. You know, we can uplift each other to a higher heights, and we can denigrate and down each other to the depths of all hell. And we have a very good way of doing it. We have a knack for doing these things. Some of us love to see chaos and drama. Just like from what I've been hearing, a lot of ladies that's been doing in this T app. I'm really starting to notice that more and more information that I'm getting from this app, the more and more I'm really seeing that these are a lot of women that are on that platform spewing out self-hate, spewing out self, reflections of who they are as people. I think if you have enough time out of your life to want to make an app to criticize and desecrate and slander a bunch of men that you've had dealings with, or you're dealing with, or didn't want to deal with you, then you really seriously need to look yourself into the mirror and figure out, well, if these men that you're referring to on this app is so bad, how did you get in contact with these people? How did you become an item with these people? How did you have children with these people? How did you put yourself in a situation where you feel like you've been slighted, that you've been disrespected, that you've been abused, that you've been hurt? I thought that the whole aspect of the T app was to help and protect women. But from what I've been hearing, because I haven't seen it, but from what I've been hearing, all it's been is just a smorgasbord of bullshit, drama, chaos, slander, mostly lies. I was just put on blast. I'm constantly on blast. My son is on that thing. My brother-in-law is on that thing. And the things that I've heard is being said about all of us is crazy. Now, true enough, I'm not a perfect soul, and I have a past. But I can tell you, and I can guarantee this right now, a lot of the shit that's being said about me, hey, you take it for what it is. A lot of it is bullshit. I can tell you that. Especially for whatever and whomever said what they were saying about what I was doing this past weekend. Because when I can recall, I was with my family all weekend, with my children all weekend. Like I say, well, I appreciate that. I don't have to explain myself to anyone. You know, I feel bad for the people who are doing it, even though I do know who they are. They probably watching me right now, just don't want to acknowledge it. They're probably watching in the clouds, in the bushes, got one of their minions watching. You know, I'm probably the most watched person other than the president. I might be the most hated person in this whole country than Putin. We're looking for Putin.
I ain't scared of you motherfuckers.
All I know, if you got that much energy for me, you definitely a fan. I understand that, some of y'all are not in my circle like that anymore. Y'all wish y'all can kind of counter my moves and things like that. Well, maybe if you would have done things differently, maybe if you would have moved differently, maybe if you just would have just been an adult and just talked, expressed how you truly felt. Hey, things might be different in the world for you. Yeah, it's definitely a good question, because it's like I've been said I'm doing this and that and this and that and all these things. I'm telling you, I'm Dr. Manhattan. You see him in the chat. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, hold on. Where you at, Dr. Manhattan? Why don't you speak to the people out here since, I'm here, there, and everywhere. I can go 10 different places at one time. I can jump in your ear and walk through your mind. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. Hold on, you don't play me, Dr. Manhattan? Is that what we on? This is what we doing in the streets? That's what's happening. You know what I'm saying? Oh, there you go. Oh, I'm tripping. Anywho, I know y'all see the title, what's going on. And I know some of y'all is like, well, Ross, what do you mean? Are Black modern women agents of chaos? Well, I'm glad you asked. With all the things that go on in the world, whether it's how we raise our children, how we handle relationships, how we handle everyday life, workplace, walking down the street, there's a lot of things that's been going on. Is it noise in the background? Do y'all hear noise in the background? Y'all hear her in the kitchen clanking and clickering and stuff like that? Let me know. if y'all hearing noise in the background, let me know. Put a 1 in the chat if y'all hear any noise in the background. But there are a lot of things that our sisters is out here doing that is showing a lot that a lot of you women are agents of chaos. You hear it? Oh, okay. You hear it. Well, there's nothing I can really do about that right now. Let me see. Let me see if I can do something. No, I can't do it right now. I'll work on that. But anywho, but as long as everything is clear, hell yeah, if you can hear that from way back there, you definitely my check 1 2. All right. If you can definitely hear that in the background, then definitely hold on. All right, I'll deal with it later. It's still some kinks. Like I said, I gotta get a soundboard, a real soundboard, so then I can cancel certain things out, have certain things. Probably need a different mic. This mic, hell, picks up you scratching your ass sometimes if you have it set to a certain level. You know what I'm saying? All right. Well, I'm not gonna mess with it. Like I said, I'll deal with that later. Like I said, I know I did some extra tweaking and changing some things, so that's probably what it is. But like I said, there are a lot of different things that's going on with our sisters that needs to be directed and corrected. No disrespect to you ladies. Some of y'all might mean well. Some of y'all just might not know how to conduct yourselves intelligently. There's a certain way of how we all as people have to move out here. True enough, we all dealing with the ills and the everyday life of being out here. But at the same time, we gotta, try to do better. Us men, there's a lot of things that we can change that we need to do that will make things better. It's definitely some things that the women need to do. So what we're going to do right now, we're going to get to some reactions. We'll get to that discussion, still and all, as far as what I'm talking about. But we're going to go to some oldness. We're going to go to the Godfather. He had a lot to say about topics like this and things like that. Kevin Samuels, another PhD, comes lying to push a big agenda on him. So we're going to see what that agenda is, okay?
Go ahead. Unmute yourself, Krista. Krista Joe, unmute yourself. Hello? Hello? I am well. What you got for me?
Thanks. Sorry about that. I wasn't expecting you to call on me so soon. Thank you for having me, by the way.
You're welcome. If you you're on camera, So you came up first.
Oh, okay. Well, I just
So how
wanna
old are
first
you, by
just
the way? How old are you, by the
Oh,
way?
I'm 31. My
Oh,
birthday was a few days ago, so
happy belated birthday.
thank you. I appreciate it. And
All right.
I
What
just
you
have,
got?
oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I can hear you. I'm sorry. Okay, I
Go
can hear
ahead.
you now. I'm sorry. Yeah, I just want to first just thank you for just giving us a reality check, because so many of us just defaulted to what we knew, and it's wrong. We cannot speak to our kings in this manner. And if anything, we have to be the first to, be there for you guys and really make sure you have a support system, period. And this is a discussion that is much needed in both for females and males. And I just want to thank you for kind of shedding light on that, even though you might have taken such, a hit. I just want to thank you for doing
It's all
that. I
good.
really do, because it was needed. It was much needed.
Cool. So, what do you got? Do you have a question, or are you just chiming in? What are we doing?
I was just chiming in. I just wanted to thank you for that. I don't really have a question right now.
I
I just wanted
appreciate
to
it,
just
Mom.
give you kudos for that. Thank you.
Merry happy Christmas, Hana Kwanzaa.
You too.
So if you have now here's the thing, the priority is going to always be for people who have a disagreement or a misunderstanding. If you have a disagreement or a misunderstanding, go ahead. If you're not quite clear, you can go ahead and put yourself on the camera. I mean, you can raise your hand in the chat room. So, oh my. All right. So next up, why are you here? Yeah, nope, not gonna happen. Not going to happen. Melanie, you're next. Melanie, unmute yourself. Yes, I can. Good evening. Is it Melanie? Okay. How old are you? I always ask. What do you got for me?
I don't entirely disagree with your perspective, but I don't think that it is always Black women's fault that they're single. I think that you place a lot of blame on.
Hold on. Nope.
No?
We're not going to do that. Are you married?
I am single.
All right. Whose responsibility? Do you want to get married?
I do.
Whose responsibility is that?
Good question. I just did some adjusting. I hit a setting. Hopefully it works on my StreamYard as far as canceling background noise. So hopefully that worked. If you hear any background sound while I'm on the mic, just let me know. But it's a good question. Who dictates to a woman for her to be married? True enough, we know that, women pretty much control sex and men controls relationships. You said a man. I'm gonna let him answer that question, and he's gonna bring his explanation as far as why he says the opposite of what you're talking about.
Yeah, I guess it goes both ways.
No. Whose responsibility is it if you want to
Well,
get
yeah,
married?
the man gives access to marriage, but the question is the woman, what does the woman do to get the marriage? Does the woman, all right, let me say it this way. Women have to have a certain mindset to get married. Exactly. The woman's action is what makes her a wife. Exactly. And if their actions don't coincide with that, that's why you see a lot of women out here that are not married. It's a very good question. I mean, answer rather.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I play
See, this
roles.
is what I
and-
see when I talk about the aha moment, people, accountability, honesty, and admission. The admission part is a thing a lot of sisters struggle with admitting. I've asked you 2 direct questions. You've deflected answering instead of just saying me. The
Okay.
answer is you, but you don't want to say it.
Yeah.
Why?
So in my case, I think a lot of it has to do with
But before you move on,
Go
but
ahead.
why don't you want to just say it's my responsibility?
Okay.
You say okay, but I'm asking you, why don't you just want to say that?
It is my responsibility.
And that's all I don't want to. Okay, go ahead. I'm just. It's always fascinating that.
Yeah. No, I agree that most women deflect a lot, but I'm saying
Well,
that
but now see,
yeah,
Melanie,
there's a
what's
but.
interesting.
Yeah.
What's interesting is you can say most women do something, and that's okay. But when I say most women do something, I'm blaming them, making it their fault. How curious is that?
I mean, you have a point. You do.
Yeah.
So in my case, I do notice that where I live makes a difference in my success in dating.
Okay.
And I am picky. And I think that's something that you've mentioned. You've recommended that women relocate, if they're in the suburbs or in rural areas.
Mhm.
So that's something that I am considering.
Well, so at 33, you want to get married. You want children?
Yeah.
Okay. So how recent is that picture?
Last December.
All right. So you don't have a problem attracting men, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So if there are women out here competing with you, you attract you if you can attract them and you want to get married, where's the disconnect?
Yeah, I guess that's something I'm trying to figure out as well.
Well, so when you come on and say when a single black woman is not married, it's not their fault. And I feel like you always blame black women. And you just did some of the same things you accused me of doing, but sis, you have to understand, if you want to get married, there's a disconnect. If you can attract men and and nobody's wanting to move forward, it's not the men's fault, is it? Really?
I guess it goes case by case, right?
No, not really. If you didn't want to have sex with me, is that your fault?
I don't understand the question.
If I wanted to have sex with you and you didn't want to have sex with me, is it your fault?
I don't know if there's anybody's fault.
Ma'am, I'm just doing the inverse of what you say. Women control access to sex, men control access to relationship. If you're dating marriageable level men and they're not asking you to marry them, it's not their fault or responsibility. It's your responsibility to figure out why marriageable level men don't want to marry you.
Yeah. Oh, I haven't really been dating that much lately, to be honest.
Well, but if you want to get married, then that's your fault.
I know.
See, this is what I mean. You ladies.
Point blank. How you expecting to find someone, get courted, and then possibly become a wife if you're not putting yourself in positions to be seen by such men that you can possibly have interest with, that you can eventually become a wife. And I'm gonna say this right now because he's gonna get to this in a second. Ladies and gentlemen, these dating apps are not it. It ain't it. Well, maybe he's supposed to fall out the, out the air, come off the ground like the super ninjas and shit, fly up trees. No, you don't want them crawling out of the gutter or the alley or the sewer. You don't want them to do that. You ain't trying to date Splinter or no shit like that. You know what I'm saying? But there definitely are places out here for women to go to. See, the problem is there are a lot of people that are so used to being in a certain space. You know what I'm saying? There are so many people out here that are used to just going this place, going to that place constantly all the time. And even you might meet men and women at these places. And a lot of times it might not work. And then you're like, well, damn, the men ain't no good. Man, these bitches, they ain't shit. Blah, 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 blah. Maybe you should change people, places, and things. Maybe you should change those environments. If you're thinking you're going to meet, the love of your life at the Friday night tavern or a bar or a nightclub, then you are sadly mistaken. If you think, meeting them around the corner from where you live at is totally, totally a mistake. I do not advise. And I've done this. I had refused in my dating days to date anyone that lived walking distance from where I stayed. Okay. Don't even fucking play a joke and say, well, yeah, I'm gonna move around you. No, you're not. Because I will fucking move quick as shit coming out when you done ate 5 cans of beans with some motherfucking X-Lax. No, ma'am. No. We're not doing that. Okay. I think if people think outside the box and go to different things that are different than what your norm is, you'd be surprised at the things that you might meet. Try a museum. Try walking on the park. You said an hour flat. I ain't studying you right now. We ain't even gonna go there. I'm telling you. And then Dr. Manhattan, he already left, so he already about to make his run. So ain't no telling what he about to do right now. I'm quite sure I'll hear about it tomorrow. Library is a good place. You know what I'm saying? But wait a minute, library. So you mean tell me I gotta be somewhere where some books and I can read? I gotta read? Yeah. Yes, I do. And I mean, yeah, how about reading a book sometimes? Get out of your phones. Get off of social media. Stop watching all these reality bullshit shows. Stop watching baddies. Stop trying to emulate what these people are that you hold so highly to in the entertainment. Coffee shop, bookstore. Wait a minute now. Now you're going too far. Now, come on now. Who and how in the hell are you going to find anybody with some substance in a library, a bookstore, a fucking coffee shop? No, man. I got to go to the club. Yoga class. Don't knock that. I've heard stories about some of the brothers that have actually went to some yoga classes. And actually, there's a yoga school not that far from my job. And a lot of times when I've driven past there, I would have to go past my job to actually go there because it's right around my old office where this place is at. But you'd be surprised at some of the women that come up out of yoga class. So you gentlemen, if you want to know somewhere that, might be cool, you might want to check out a yoga class. You might want to hit some bookstores. You know, you might want to hit the library here and there, and that goes for the ladies as well. You know what I'm saying? The gym ain't it, because ladies have messed that up for even men to meet a woman at the gym. No, no. You know, we're creeps. You know, when men go to the gym and talk to ladies, you know, men are creeps. I didn't seen too many stories about it. I didn't seen too many ladies trying to put men on blast for being creeps because they're looking at their half naked body with their, you know, their stretch pants and their, you know, their what the fuck that what do they call that shit? Lululemon's on and shit like that all up their ass, and you know they ain't liking that shit. You know. Well, probably
Come
yeah.
in, and that's the problem. You've been allowed to deflect and lie to yourselves and stick your head in the sand and everything else. And there's no reason that a woman, you're an attractive woman, but there's no reason that you, no offense, man, just you come out sounding so game goofy at 33 years old.
Gang goofy?
Game goofy. This
Oh,
is a
game goofy.
Did you go to college?
Yeah.
Did you graduate?
I did.
Okay, it's amazing how Becky, Marisol, Mylene, and I knew they were getting, a lot of women were getting married right out of college.
Yeah.
I find it troubling that so many Black women just don't, through their 20s, they don't date, they don't figure it out, and then they get into Europe.
And a lot of Black women don't go to college with the pursuit of a husband. They go to college to pursue these degrees, a lot of them degrees that they're not going to use, that they're not financially suitable, just so they can say they have some degrees. A lot of women, a lot of Black sisters in our community were not taught that. Okay. And it's really a lot of our fault why some of these things were not taught. Is our fault how we've allowed our households to be in the shams that they are. It is our fault that we've allowed this feminist movement to sweep through our community and pretty much destroy it and rip it from its roots. You know, and it's platforms like this and platforms like Kevin, platforms like MTR, you know, that try to show these things. You know, even though Kevin's no longer around, Kevin still got good game that's still relevant to this day on this platform. Even though Sinful to P, he was pretty much, you know, who he was, he still had good game for the everyday square. I went for education, but I did meet my first husband in college, but currently I'm finishing my last degree. Okay. Well, we all know the story. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that meeting a person in college for marriage could work, but a lot of households in other communities, they were taught those things. And some worked, some didn't. But still in all, they made the efforts.
Area, and it becomes hard to even understand what's going on. So you're out here competing for the same men that 25-year-olds are competing for. But you should have a 33-year-old's mindset and an advantage, but I'm not hearing anything different, which is another thing when I hear older women saying, well, what do you get from a young girl that you can't get from an older woman? Seeing any big differences?
So your phrase game goofy means immature? What does that mean?
The game of love. You're game goofy, meaning you don't seem to be well versed in the game of dating or love or what's going
on. And yes, you did. God bless you.
Known out here. You haven't asked yourself some critical questions as to why relationships, the outcome you have is not happening. If you want something, what are you doing to get it? I mean, if you went to college, you wanted to graduate, you realize that there was a process you had to go through. You had to choose a school, get accepted by the school, attend the school, pay tuition, attend classes, pass classes. There's a process, right?
Yep.
Relationships are a process too. And if you've had relationships, have you ever said, have you ever been engaged?
No, but I was in
Uh,
a long-term relationship.
How long?
Like 3 years.
And how long ago was that?
A long time ago.
How long though?
Like 4 years.
Okay. So one of the things I always tell ladies to do is go back and interview your exes. Go back and interview your exes when there's nothing there and ask what it's like to be with you and then why things ended. Because ladies need to get far more curious about.
I used to, when he used to say that back in the day, I wouldn't say I would cringe, so to speak, but I'm quite sure that's not something that a lot of our community is going to do as far as ask your ex, well, how was I? A lot of times, and this is just how it is in our community. A lot of our exes, you don't want to even sit in the same room with, let alone ask them questions that can help you further along in your everyday and in your relationship or trying to obtain as far as in relationships. But I mean, he meant well with that, but it's like you might be slipping down a slippery slope asking your exes, well, you know, what kind of person was I really to you? What will my qualities, what will my deficiencies, things like that. It could get disrespectful. I ain't gonna lie. There's some people out here, they don't want to ask me. Okay. Oh, and that's another thing. You know, a lot of them will assume that, they trying to, spin the block. No, it doesn't always have to be that way. Just because someone's asking, well, what do you think, of that, as a person and stuff like that. No, that doesn't necessarily mean that you're trying to spin the block, you know. But see, most people don't look at this kind of intelligence in that manner. If they wasn't um, introduced to these kind of conversations, this kind of angle as far as how to look at relations. So a lot of people might assume that, you know, but hey, it is what it is.
Things. It's not going to just happen. That's ultimately what I'm saying. It's not going to just happen, and that's why that danger zone thing. Because it sounds kind of funny, but Melanie, time is ticking,
I know.
and so that's why when you came in saying that it's not always a woman's fault that there's a black woman's fault that they're single, and I feel like you blame them. I put the responsibility and accountability square where it belongs, on your lap.
So if geography is part of the problem, you're saying, well, I'm acknowledging that's part of my problem, but you're saying there's probably other things that I'm being ignorant towards or delusional about.
I mean, I don't know, ma'am. Honestly, I haven't.
Right.
First of all, depending upon the kind of caliber of man you want, if you're living in a inhospitable area, that's an issue. This is why I tell women, therapists is always a good idea because we all need some adjustment. Image consultant, personal trainer, matchmaker, because
Y'all heard that, y'all, right? Those are things that can help you. If you're looking to get in a relationship, a productive and a healthy relationship, there might be some things that you might need to do within self to better your chances. Yeah, shout out to Dr. J. He does that a lot. He's helped some people, and there's some people that he just couldn't help. I didn't heard the stories. You know, he's helped me in a way, even though we haven't sat down in an actual session, I am the type of person I do look at and listen to constructive criticism to better myself. You know, you just, well, I never messed with a female who lived in my, not at all. Not at all. I know some of them might look a certain way. Some of them, they got that your thing, and and look in a certain, whatever. But I highly, highly do not approve of you wanting to seek relations in your own neighborhood. Okay, that just never works, man. It just never works.
You should have more resources than a 23-year-old woman. Spend some of them to go try to make yourself available to the kind of man you say you want. Especially if you don't live there, because you're not going to run into them at the gym or Whole Foods.
Right.
I mean, that's what has to happen, or else. You got a dog?
Right.
Do you have a dog?
No, I don't. Thank God.
What part? What state do you live in?
I'm in New York, but I'm on Long Island.
All right. So in 2021, I'm going to be profiling single men and single women, either weekly, monthly, or weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly eligible people. I think a lot of professional women need different advice and need access, but you're going to have to get active. You cannot be passive.
Yeah.
Especially, and I mean no disrespect, but in your 30s, so at your age, you got to be far more proactive, because you out here competing against 23-year-olds. All right, sis, appreciate it.
All right, thank you. Good night.
Okay, bye-bye. All right, who's next? Somebody have a disagreement, question you're not quite clear on? I don't make it women's fault, but it is your responsibility to get chose by the man. I mean, Scarlett O'Hara in Gone with the Wind. What have I said, ladies? How you dropping your virtual handkerchief? I do declare. How you dropping it? You have a comment. I don't know who you are, but I would do this. All right, here we go. Boop, 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 boop. Unmute yourself, please. Hey, hello. What's your first name? How old are you? What do you got for me?
And I do have these conversations with my dad and my uncles. Marriage is a lot of work. I learned marriage is a lot of work. I do have the opportunity to date high income earning men, but I won't call them high quality men. Okay. I dated brothers who were lawyers. Sometimes they do have some issues. When you speak to them, I learned to listen when I meet with them on dates. And when you do engage in conversations with them, they do have issues as well. Some of them don't have a good relationship with their dad. Some don't even have a good model of what a marriage or relationship is.
Now see. This is exactly what we're talking about. Right, she sounds like Cardi B. A woman that has success but has issues. She crashes out every other month on social media to her fans, to people, to everybody. I mean, when she gets upset, when she gets hot goblin mad, fuck, it is nothing to want to be around. You know what I'm saying? And right here is where this lady what Kevin's talking to. Perfect example of what I was saying earlier about people, places, and things, and the circles that you frequent. Okay, She might be in areas that frequent men that got a little money, that got a little status about themselves. You know, I'm just saying, you know, but some of these women got to understand, just because a person got money doesn't mean they all good. Okay. Just because you dealing with someone, you know, that, you know, might have a degree or just might have a profession, that doesn't negate the fact that they might still be flawed, you know. So, and if this person, even on the strength of meeting people that got access to finances that are substantial and it's still not working out, then you need to check the circles that you're around and change those circles. Like I said, people, places, and things.
Oh, hello.
Yes, Kevin.
Okay. Is this all the guys you're dating?
And I also tell my girlfriends they're on Tinder. There are some high income earning brothers on Tinder.
So I didn't hear you. Did you say yes?
Yes, I dated
Okay,
a
well, let me stop you.
politician.
Listen. Tinder?
Tinder do have some high
I'm
income
sorry, man.
earning.
Can I make a statement before?
Sure, Kevin.
And all right. What's the issue?
The issue is
Because I know my name, and when somebody continues to call
what
me
I'm
by
trying to do, I think you not distinguish between a high income earning.
Okay. One thing you cannot do is overtalk me. Now, we'll try this again. When I'm trying to make a point, I let you speak. You're going to either listen or I'm going to bid you a good night, ma'am. But I don't know you. I haven't done anything to you. So check the attitude. I don't know why you ladies think you can get on a show with somebody you don't know and come in with an attitude. You can unmute yourself and we can try this again. Did you hear what I said? Well, you sound okay. Well, let's rewind. Let's rewind because it seemed as though you haven't. When I asked you about these men, you said that these men have issues, and I said all of them, and you said yes.
Yes.
Well, ma'am, then that's not well. And if you're meeting these men on Tinder.
Even on Match.com.
Well, how about this is what I mean. So to the market. So what I mean, ma'am, is I got news for you. In general, high value men don't hang out on Tinder and Match. They go to matchmakers. They're out working. See, I'm gonna use this as an example. Ladies, you have 100% responsibility of who you make yourself available to. But far too many of you want it easy. Tinder, Match. Are you paying for either one of these services?
I did pay for them because I like to keep myself discreet. And I just want to make a comment, Kevin. There are men who are high income earning men.
I know, but see, what you need to understand, ma'am, is I know. Okay, listen. Yes, you may find one or two on there, but that's not.
No, it's not just one.
All right. Okay. No. Okay. You're gonna tell me about.
There's even politicians on there.
You're gonna tell me about men, and no. Again, I asked if you're paying, since I did because I want to keep myself discreet. So let's get this straight. You want to find a high value man off a free dating site. Anybody see any problems with this? Ladies, anybody see any problems with this?
I hope y'all see where he's getting at with that. Tinder and Match and with Christian Mingle and Plenty of Fish and all this other shit that these crappy, shitty ass dating apps that I've heard so many horror stories. I've heard a lot of stories about Tinder. You know what I'm saying? if you're gonna do it for free, if you're gonna try to meet people free, then why don't y'all do what we did in Generation X? You know, us Generation Xers that didn't have cell phones like that, didn't have social media like that. I ain't talking about the party line. Hell the fuck no, 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 no. That shit was trash. I ain't gonna lie. Man, them old school party lines were trash. But do it the old fashioned way. Walk up to people. Be out and about. If you see something that attracts you, speak to them. You know, how us brothers used to do back in the day when we saw someone that we thought was nice and attractive and we wanted to get to know well. You know, a lot of us was like, excuse me, miss, excuse me, miss, excuse me, miss. You know, if they oh yeah, you know, those apps are the, yep, exactly. Especially Christian Mingle. Shit. Boujou. No, Boujou. Buju. Boujou. I'll tell y'all that story one day. Okay. But do it like the old days. Approach someone right then and there. At least you know you're not getting catfished. At least you know what you're looking at, and all that. If they're interested, they're interested. If they're not, oh well. There were plenty times where, oh, I'm not interested. I got a boyfriend. Okay, well, hey, no worries. And there was some situations, you know, when they was like, hey, you're kind of cute too. I mean, it happens, but we were more interactive outside. This whole internet and social media shit has gotten people lazy, has gotten you it's lazy and over the top at the same time. Because the shit that a lot of ladies be posting online, y'all not gonna do that shit in real life. Y'all not gonna walk around like that, a lot of y'all in real life, like how some of y'all portray yourselves on your social medias. You know, some might, but not all. You know, situation. Hey, you're cute too. Yeah, I mean, you know, some women nowadays they really want what they want out here in the dating market. Some of you ladies need to shoot your shot because a lot of men are afraid to approach you for the fact of them labeling you as being a creep, being, you know, all these negative things that you guys call men.
You want to find a man who has his shit together and you only want to pay. Nah. Nope. You get what you give, ladies. And if you're not willing to sacrifice and invest, don't complain. Somebody said they had a disagreement. But I'm not gonna let you sit here and run men down because you don't want to do what it takes to make yourself available to a different caliber of man. That's on you.
And guys, that brings us to the end of today's video. Thanks for watching. More respect.
All right, that was pretty much that. I can't deal with dude. Shout out to the process that has that. He does a lot of Kevin Samuel reactions and things like that. He'll let it play for a while, and then for like the next 5 to 10 minutes, he'll talk about his own opinions about the video. But you know, his African accent is actually pretty annoying to me. So I'm not about to sit there and listen to that. But that was pretty much that. But look at the difference in how his platform was and still is, because his page is still up and running. You can go to it anytime and listen to a lot of his shows that he had on his platform. And then you look at how Kendra G does it. You know what I'm saying? I'm already in a corner.
I ain't scared of you motherfuckers.
And you see the difference of the conversations between Kendra G and Kevin Samuels. Also, you see the quality of the guests that he would bring on. A lot of times he showed a lot of those women respect because a lot of them didn't want to be on camera. And he made it whereas, they can still talk to him and they wouldn't be on camera. Kendra G, cheap, bum ass, you know what I'm saying? She's still using, a fucking iPhone and she getting all this money off her platform, ain't put no investments into her channel. Her shit still looks the same as what it did 5 years ago. You know what I'm saying? What I do? What did I do, man? I ain't did nothing. I'm innocent. No, I was probably Dr. Manhattan that was talking shit. I think he might have left. I don't know. I didn't hear so many things about what that boy be on, boy. It's just crazy. Okay. No. All right. Before I get to the next thing, I'm innocent. Years ago, I was on the party line and I was talking to this one in particular young lady. You know how it was, it's phone shit. So the profiles is, I'm such and such, I'm 5'2", or I'm thick, I'm this, I'm dark skinned, blah, 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? And you saw what video? Shit, wasn't no video of me like that back in them days. Anyway, and we made arrangements to want to meet up, right? So she told me what she was going to wear. And I told her, all right, well, I'm going to wear such and such and such and such, right? Now, she told me at the time that she was like 5'2". Oh, you talking about Freak? Oh, hey, man. We ain't going to get into all that.
Yeah. Yeah, baby.
Yeah. It was some wild things. That's why a lot of them old sisters was getting pissed off and was trying to shut that shit down. Because trust me, them women that's my age back in the early and late 90s, I was out there wilding and fouling and twerking it up and all kinds of shits. Whew. They ain't want that shit come out. They mamas, they children and grandchildren are gonna see, hey, your grandmama and your mama. I want you to know, your mama is a hoe. It might not be what you think your mama is, but what she was doing down there in Georgia in the 90s and Freaknik, your mama is a hoe. She a hoe. It's all good. Like I say, man.
I ain't scared of you motherfuckers.
It's all good. But yeah, man. Yeah, it was a balance as far as how Kevin, did it. And it made for good content. It made for great conversations. He wasn't disrespectful unless you was disrespectful to him. Kendra just ghetto. She just an ignorant fucking person. And that's why you never see any results with her platform. That's why you're always seeing the most chaotic people coming on her platform because she's a agent of chaos. She's the ringleader with a lot of you sisters when it comes to this online dating shit of being an agent of chaos. If it ain't nobody that's an agent of chaos, it is her. It is Kendra G. You can tell her that I said that shit. I don't give a fuck. She's an agent of chaos. I said what I said. You know what I'm saying? I definitely said what I said. Here's another one. The whole thing with Shakira Richardson is coming out more and more that, you know, she's trying to play this whole victim role with what happened in the airport with her. Hopefully that's her ex-boyfriend. If he's smart, he would leave that alone and leave it where it was at. But there was some more things that's going on, you know. Sha'Carri, she's getting real heated with some of the backlash that she's getting because a lot of people ain't believing her shit, you know.
Go prominently on its homepage, Sha'Carri Richardson.
Oh, you think she didn't say that?
Oh, what?
Oh, she did. You think she didn't say, oh, as they were kicking her off, she said, oh, y'all just don't know who I am.
Looks like Nike can't keep shielding Sha'Carri Richardson forever. She slipped past plenty of scandals before, but this time feels way bigger because it ain't just whispers online or rumors about smoking trees. It's straight up leaked footage in 4K showing her wild and out, backed up with police reports. Fans are asking the real question now: if Nike drops other athletes for way less, why is Sha'Carri still their golden poster girl? It all kicked off with that chaotic airport arrest. Cameras caught Sha'Carri shoving her boyfriend Christian Coleman right before they boarded a flight at Seattle-Tacoma International Airport. At first, it just looked like a messy lover's spat blown out of proportion. But once the police got involved and that body cam footage leaked, the narrative flipped quick. The footage painted a whole different picture. Sha'Carri wasn't calm, and she definitely wasn't innocent like she tried to claim. If anything, she came off as the one starting the drama.
I'm under arrest right now? What am I under arrest for? Christian, are you serious right now? Okay. I did not him though. Yeah, video cameras.
Christian never even raised a hand back, yet when the cuffs came out, Sha'Carri tried to spin it like she was the victim. I'm under arrest right now? What am I under arrest for? Christian, are you serious right now? She snapped in disbelief. The cops told her straight up she was under arrest for assault. But instead of owning it, she turned on Christian, accusing him of being the problem, calling him a coward, and begging him to defend her. When that didn't work, she switched up, denying she even touched him, even though the video showed everything clear as day. The deeper she sank, the more desperate she got. She went off on the officers, even trying to flip the gender card, asking why she was the one being cuffed when Christian was the man. Then came the shouting about drinking, claiming she didn't even want anything to do with him anymore. But by that point, the damage was already done. For a lot of fans, that was it. The last straw.
Oh, yeah. So this is the position that Christian Coleman put me into, okay? Because he's a coward, and I don't want anything to do with him at this point going forward.
That's when people turned their attention to her sponsors, especially Nike, because choices have consequences, and this time people are convinced the heat is too heavy for Nike to dodge. The calls for them to cut ties are only getting louder by the day. Harder, harder. Christian, are you serious right now? That line from the arrest footage set the internet on fire, but the drama didn't end there.
Harder. Christian, are you serious right now? Christian.
Washington State, he doesn't get a...
See, the arrest wasn't just about one messy fight at the airport. People believe Sha'Carri might have orchestrated her own downfall piece by piece. And trust me, when we get to what her teammates and coaches have been saying, it gets even messier. But first, let's talk about the part that really shook fans, Christian's reaction afterwards. Instead of pressing charges, he actually defended her. Days later, in an interview, he said she didn't deserve punishment and that all she needed was grace and understanding. Supportive boyfriend move, maybe in his head, but the fans saw something else completely. People zoomed in on his body language, and it was hard to ignore. He couldn't sit still, his eyes were darting all over the place, and he barely made eye contact with the camera. To many, it didn't look like love at all. It looked like fear. Almost as if Sha'Carri had something hanging over his head, forcing him to stand by her side no matter what. That's when the sympathy shifted away from her and straight toward him. The internet went crazy with theories, and comedian Corey Holcomb didn't hold back either. On his podcast, he accused Sha'Carri of weaponizing the victim role, saying she knew exactly how to twist the system against Christian. And the thing is, the leaked footage backed up what he was saying. Fans started pointing out that Corey wasn't just spitting opinions, he was echoing what they'd already suspected for a long time. Christian's strange defense didn't look like a boyfriend standing by his girl, and it looked like a man trapped in a cycle, maybe even dealing with this kind of behavior long before the cameras ever caught it. That's when the conversation shifted. The airport fight wasn't just a one-time blow-up anymore. It started to feel like part of a bigger, ongoing story. One fan summed it up perfectly online. Not only did he defend her and refuse to press charges, but honestly, there's no way I'd stay with a woman who put hands on me in public like that. She'd be dead to me. I'd be crazy to stay with someone like that. What if we fight again? She flips it on me and I get accused of DV. I could lose everything.
And unfortunately, in a lot of situations, a lot of people don't walk away from stuff like this because of whatever feelings that they might have for that person. And it could end up bad. It can end up in a much worse situation than what this was. Now, I don't know what's going on with them now, if they're still an item, but honestly, if he's smart, after how she acted and the things that she was saying during that time, it would behoove him to leave her alone. You know, that's all I got to say. I mean, it's just not worth it. It's not worth your sanity. It's not worth your career. It's not worth it, you know? And these are the things that a lot of us get caught up in. Sometimes we get put into these situations and these relations, and we feel that, well, no, it's just a situation. It could get better. No, when it gets to being physical and people putting their hands on you and then wanting to victim blame when there was clearly in the wrong, then it's time for you to step off and fall off from that.
Everything, even end up in jail.
Like, I don't feel as if, like, she should have been arrested. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, you know, people have discussions and emotions and stuff like that. And she have, like, things that she needs to work on for herself, of course. So do I, so do you, like, everybody. And I'm the type of guy, like, I'm in the business of just, like, extending grace and mercy and love. Analyze yourself mentally, and then just try to see what you can do to be your best self so that you can move forward, so you can just be the type of person and a human that God needs you to be for his kingdom and for his glory. And so
that's how one fan put it. And honestly, that's where things got even messier, because Christian isn't the first partner to hint that Sha'Carri loves flipping the script. Her ex, Jamaican hurdler Janique Brown, opened up in an emotional interview that fans are digging back up right now. Janique admitted their relationship was messy on both sides, mentally, verbally, and physically, but she made it clear the weight she carried from it was heavy. She claimed she was threatened, silenced, and even blamed when Sha'Carri allegedly turned the internet against her. And here's the kicker. This wasn't out of nowhere. Years ago, Sha'Carri blasted a long Instagram story where she painted Janique as the villain, making herself the victim and collecting sympathy points. Meanwhile, Janique got dragged online, even canceled in some circles. Later, Janique clapped back, saying Sha'Carri's story was nothing but a calculated move to protect her image while destroying hers. Sound familiar? That's why people now believe what Christian is going through is just part of the same old pattern. The way Sha'Carri looked that cop dead in the eye and asked, "Why am I the one being arrested?" While the footage clearly showed Christian not even laying a finger on her, it made people wonder if she pulled the same trick on Janique and got away with it back then. And then came her so-called apology video, which only made things worse. It wasn't just the hollow words that probably looked like they were written by her PR team. It was the body language. She sat there grinning like it was a comedy skit. Who smiles through an apology video? Then she tried to twist it all around, claiming folks misunderstood her. In classic narcissistic fashion, she even ended it saying, "I love him, and to him, I can't apologize enough." That line sent people into rage mode. The reigning 100-meter world champ even wrote in all caps on Instagram, "Your apology should be just as loud as your actions." And once those clips hit the internet, the dragging came fast and brutal.
Video. Right. And when the dude said something to her, she was trying to turn the passengers against her, but the passengers was like, "Turn your phone off, bitch."
Twitter, TikTok, Reddit, everybody had something to say, and trust me, the verdict wasn't pretty. One viral tweet hit hard. "Dang, imagine what she does in private." Another fan dragged her so-called apology, calling it fake and pointing out how she sat there grinning like she was cracking jokes instead of addressing something serious. Folks said it looked less like remorse and more like damage control. And the comment that kept bouncing around the most? Pattern. But if Sha'Carri's apology wasn't bad enough, Nike came in and made things 10 times hotter. Instead of pulling back or pausing campaigns, Nike doubled down. Literally days after the arrest, Sha'Carri was still front and center on their homepage promoting her latest shoe. No statement, no acknowledgement of the scandal, just a silent but loud message of support. Fans weren't just upset, they were furious. The comparisons started flying. People pointed out how Caitlin Clark, one of the biggest rising stars in women's sports, hasn't even gotten a signature shoe or major push from Nike since signing with them. Meanwhile, Sha'Carri, who was just caught on video putting hands on her boyfriend, is being pushed as the face of the brand. One angry post summed it up perfectly. Corporate sponsors like Nike scream about having zero tolerance for domestic violence, but when it comes to Sha'Carri Richardson, they go silent. If all of this isn't wrong, then what exactly is the line? That hypocrisy is what's making fans snap. Others looked at it from a different angle, saying Nike knows exactly what they're doing. Sha'Carri's brand has always been wrapped in controversy, from the weed suspension to her fiery clapbacks, and every time her name trends, it brings more eyes to the sport. So instead of worrying about morals, Nike might just be cashing in on the chaos. As one fan put it, Sha'Carri Richardson isn't just running races, she's selling drama, and Nike's milking it. And just when fans thought the scandal couldn't get any uglier, whispers from inside the track world started leaking out. Her own teammates and coaches, the people...
Sure, another black sister promoting bullshit and drama and this whatever these new modern black women want to put out here is supposed to be the norm now. See, a lot of us have been so desensitized from the bullshit because of shows like, Real Housewives and Baddies and, and the music that a lot of our people listen to, it didn't got to the point where everyone wants to be reckless. And what reckless is selling now, I guess a lot of these different brands are looking at the women. Oh, it's cute. It'll sell. Whereas, like you said, if men would do it, it wouldn't be. And you're supposed to be an Olympian, that's supposed to be respected. I'm sorry. FloJo, Simone Biles, was that Jackie Jonah Kersey, women like that, women that paved the way for sisters like Sha'Carri, I got way more respect for them and how they carried themselves than this one. And if you notice something about all three of those women that I talked about that were past, Olympians, they all were married.
People closest to her career are now being dragged into the mess, and they're not exactly defending her. According to folks who've been around the training camps, Sha'Carri's fiery attitude that fans once called confidence has turned into a nightmare behind the scenes. Teammates say she's constantly late, dismissive, and quick to snap on people who try to check her. One insider even claimed she cursed out a coach in front of the whole team after being told to focus more on her form than her image. That clip hasn't surfaced yet, but the fact that people are even talking about it shows how much smoke is in the air. And the pattern? Yep, it came up again. People online are now piecing together that the same way she flipped the narrative with Christian and Janique is the same way she allegedly handles her professional circle. If things go wrong, it's never her fault, i.e. it's a hater, a jealous teammate, or someone trying to hold her back.
And I hate that narrative too because, it's coming together like we're just two like real dominant personalities. And she's, to me, the best female athlete in the world. Like I see it every day. And for me in my process, like I just said, moving training groups, a whole new environment.
What really set fans off, though, was a resurfaced interview where one of her former training partners low-key shaded her, saying, "Some athletes want to let their running speak for them. Others want drama to speak louder than the medals." Nobody said her name directly, but fans instantly connected the dots. And while Nike might still be backing her, insiders claim some of her teammates aren't so forgiving. Word is, a few of them are pressing officials to separate training schedules because they don't want the distraction. Imagine that, being so chaotic your own team doesn't even want to be in the same lane as you. Now the big question flying around is, if the people closest to her career are quietly distancing themselves, how long before the sponsors, the federation, and even the sport itself decide she's more trouble than she's worth? Because right now the track doesn't look like her only battlefield. It looks like she's fighting everyone around her too. If fans were divided, the media and sponsors are at war behind the scenes. Some outlets are ripping Sha'Carri to shreds daily, running headlines about her meltdown in 4K, while others are cautiously defending her, saying she's just misunderstood.
Other people, there's people who've seen that, people who know that, and will still honestly come and go, toxic, push and pull, and still get over the obstacles, until I said, I have learned my lesson. I don't want to go over no more of these obstacles, right?
But one thing's clear, her name is money, and every article with her face on it gets clicks, no matter which side you're on. Sponsors, though, that's where it really gets messy. Insiders say Nike isn't the only brand caught in the fire. A few of her smaller endorsement deals are already on pause. Meetings canceled, campaigns shelved, phone calls suddenly delayed until further notice. But Nike doubling down put pressure on the rest. If the biggest sports brand in the world is still standing by her, what excuse do the smaller ones have? On the flip side, other companies are terrified of the backlash. One PR insider leaked that reps are literally drafting exit strategies just in case things get uglier. No brand wants to be tied to the next domestic violence scandal, they explained. And fans are pointing out the double standards too, how certain athletes, especially men, were dropped instantly for less, while Sha'Carri is still being promoted front and center. Meanwhile, sports media outlets are practically egging it on. Some podcasts are replaying the body cam footage frame by frame, breaking down every word she screamed. Others are digging into her past, connecting dots between the Janique drama, the Christian fiasco, and now the sponsor silence. The narrative being pushed is that this isn't a one-time mistake. It's a dangerous pattern. And the real kicker? Even while all this is happening, Nike reportedly has another rollout planned with her face on it. That revelation alone had people flooding timelines with comments like, "This isn't loyalty, it's profit. Nike's betting on chaos to sell sneakers." Now everyone's asking the same thing. Will Nike drag every other sponsor down with them by sticking to Sha'Carri, or will the pressure finally force them to cut ties before she burns the whole house down? Because right now her brand is both priceless and poisonous at the same time. Nike stood by her through it all. When she got penalized for weed, they ran a whole comeback campaign, plastered her in commercials, and treated her like the face of the brand. But when their latest explanation dropped, it didn't calm fans one bit. If anything, it made people even angrier because it sounded like Nike wasn't clueless at all. They knew exactly what was going on, and they still kept her because the chaos was profitable. And that's where the biggest debate exploded, the double standard. Comedian Corey Holcomb spelled it out clear as day.
Basically, she was saying that people need to leave you alone, and that, you guys were both toxic together and take things off of the media, and let's not bring it on social media. That's what I got from the conversation, allegedly.
If Sha'Carri were a man caught on camera shoving his girlfriend, those sponsorships would vanish overnight. No debate. Fans didn't argue. They pointed to athletes who lost everything over a single allegation, while Sha'Carri, with literal video proof against her, is still being celebrated like nothing happened. People even dragged Nike's history back into the spotlight, reminding everyone of their selective outrage with past athletes. For many, this wasn't shocking at all, just another reminder that when it comes down to it, money always outweighs morals. That's why the pressure on Nike isn't slowing down. Fans aren't just furious at Sha'Carri, they're furious at the entire system protecting her. When you zoom out, this scandal isn't just about one airport fight. It's about years of baggage she's managed to outrun, from teammates complaining about disrespect, to coaches whispering about her attitude, to exes accusing her of flipping narratives. All of it brushed off because her talent and her marketability kept her untouchable. And then there's Christian. Fans can't ignore how shaken he looks in interviews, how his silence feels less like support and more like a quiet cry that he's been enduring something way bigger for a long time. At the end of the day, it all circles back to Nike, a company that claims to stand for values, but fans say is standing for profit first. Their choice to keep Sha'Carri front and center tells the world where their loyalty lies. Right now, Sha'Carri's silent.
Right. We'll see how that goes. And Big Mike, I don't care. Kendra G,
I ain't scared of you motherfuckers.
I am not scared of Kendra G, man. She can get mad all she want. All she gonna do is just crash out and say my thing is little and nobody really watching me. So with that being said, hit the like button on the way in. If you are new, please hit the subscribe button and like, share, and subscribe this video and put it out there in the atmosphere that the Black Bottom Rozcast is here. I am not scared of no damn Kendra G. But as far as Sha'Carri Richardson, she ain't no FloJo, I can tell you that. She ain't no Simone Biles, I can tell you that. She ain't no Jackie Jonah Kersey. No, Jackie, what is it? Hold on. I think I just said the same name. No, it was another sister, not Jackie Jonah Kersey. Fuck. No, I think it was Jackie Jonah Kersey. Well, I don't know. Those were three sisters back in the day that was Olympians, that black, and all of them married. This one would never get married. If she do, then you's an idiot and a fool. And, people was like, well, maybe we should throw her in jail, stuff like that. No, first off, she needs some help. She needs to learn how to keep her hands to herself. She needs to learn how to regulate her emotions. That's a big thing that she needs to learn. So yeah, so if y'all liking the video, hit the like button, subscribe. If you are new, you are here at the Black Bottom. Now, this is what I'm saying about this T-app. This T-app is causing a lot of bullshit. This T-app is going to get a lot of women hurt with some of the stuff that's being put on that platform. And the people that made the T-app, y'all should be proud of yourselves, I guess, because you're stirring up more chaos amongst these women. And we gonna show some shit. Average Man Unplugged had put this out. The proof that the T-app, the proof that men are right about the T-app, and what a lot of us saying it is trash.
A guy friend of mine yelled at me to shut the fuck up and let him talk. And this is a nice guy, right? I could have this, I'll probably have another video between nice and kind, but I was absolutely shocked. We were talking about the T-app, and I could tell it was coming from a very emotional place and projections from his part, and I was just sharing the women experience and why something like the T-app exists. 10% goes to the National Domestic Violence Hotline, and he was arguing how for men, if a woman doesn't like a man, he can easily slander him and things like that. And I was explaining to him, yes, that's the case, but you can compare that to women survivors who go to court, and the court is usually not on the side of survivors.
So make sure a female's lying and that T-app and got a little girl unlocked. That's crazy as fuck. So basically this lady posted her man on the T-app and said, ladies, what's T? Like 5 females commented, oh yeah, he just busted me down. He just did this. He just did this. The girls was flat out lying. Different states, brain never traveled before.
You can't make this shit up, people. You cannot make this shit up.
What's going on, YouTube? Busy Boy Rome back with another video. If you're new to the platform, welcome to the tribe. By the end of this video, I hope you subscribe. So, I came across this video of this woman talking about her interaction with her guy friend about the T-app. And I found it intriguing, not just because of what she had to say, but also the fact that I've come across a whole bunch of videos that literally debunks the whole point that she was trying to make in her video. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how this happens to me. At this point, I'm starting to think it's a gift. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it.
We already have so many things that aren't on.
I understand. I follow him. He has some good platforms. He has some good, videos. It's to each his own. Our judgment, though. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that all this stuff I agree with, but I ran across this and he shows good clips about, good reactions as far as what other people's talking about this T-app. You know what I'm saying? But as far as, some of his opinions, I mean, hey, he's a little over the top with it. I give it to him. Like I say, I don't agree with everything he says. It's like a lot of people don't agree with everything I say or everything that Kevin said or everything that, O'Shea Duke Jackson might say. Everyone has a right for their opinion. If it was the other way around, he would have been dropped and crucified. Yeah. As far as, if the brother with the whole Sha'Carri Richardson Christian thing, yeah, hell yeah. It was another video about the male birth control. Oh, okay. I haven't heard about it, but I got I got mixed things with that whole birth control thing. They're saying no side effects, but how do we know? And brothers, I'm gonna be honest with you. In my opinion, I wouldn't take it. Why women are crashing out body? I mean, that kind of shows you where their mindset's at on that aspect. If this is something that does work and there's no side effects and it can go away in time, why are y'all so mad about it? Wouldn't y'all not want to get pregnant? Oh, I forgot. Some of you sisters be trying to trap these niggas. So I get it. I get it. So that's why y'all mad. Okay, I get it.
On our side. And so when we have an app, I'm stumbling around my words because I'm still like processing. I don't do well with men who react that way from my history. And so, but the app was created for women to support women. You could put green flags on there. You could put red flags, but it felt like he didn't hear anything I was saying and sharing.
Oh yeah. I know I saw a video about it, but I don't know how she was wording it. I thought maybe it was another video about that thing. So, like I said, I got my own mixed things about that shit. I wouldn't advise men to take it. I'll say that. That's my opinion on it. That's my take on it. That's my thought process on it. There's other ways you can do it. You know what I'm saying? But that's not it. When we were really suffer because of birth control. Oh, well, yeah. I mean, definitely. I've heard the horror stories about why a lot of women don't want to take that shit anymore and the things that it does to you. I'm firsthand, knowledge. My wife was telling me about how it did her, and I understood it. And then the difference with when she stopped and how it changed, as far as how certain things, how she reacted to, it was a major difference. That is, I wouldn't, want anyone taking any of that shit. The best way to control birth is control it and be mindful of what you're doing out there. I mean, I can't tell people to stop doing what they do, in the privacy of their own homes. But if you don't want certain things going on and happening, have that oops moment, you should, be a little bit more mindful of how you're doing things out there. This, that. Oh, yeah, and that causes heart problems. Yeah. It's not a good thing on either side.
How there's potential slander versus women's safety, right? Domestic violence. Men are the apex predator for women, and most of unaliving comes from men against their partners. And so it kind of even proved a point. And also the point of I was just debating, sharing my part, and it was getting him very frustrated to the point where he's an impassioned person, right? But then it tipped over and he yelled at me and said, "Shut up." And the girls that were there, one girl stepped away and then the other girl was sitting, and they were shocked too. I don't know how to process it in terms of it being a guy friend. He did catch himself and then he apologized and apologized again. But it's when you go over the edge and that happens, it's not okay. And this is why emotional regulation is really important. And I'm proud of myself to tell him I didn't freeze. My past self would have frozen. I immediately said, that is not okay. You need to step back, cool down. I don't think we should have this conversation anymore. He didn't step back and he just paused. And then he continued with the conversation on a calmer note. So that wasn't truly boundary honoring. Is really, I'm just still processing this. A guy friend. When guy friends are the guys that have been teaching me and showing me that it is a safe place. Yet, this stuff happened. And it just full circle makes the point, which he was not listening to. So it adds to men not listening to women. why women are threatened by men, and why there's fear and emotional regulation, saying that women are more emotional.
My gut tells me that she's not being 100% honest about this whole conversation. The only time, in my personal opinion, the only time it would make sense for a man to yell at you to shut the fuck up is unless you kept interrupting him while he was talking. Because anytime especially when it comes to watching these panel talks, that's generally where that comes from. That's generally where that frustration comes from, that tip over that she was referring to. That's usually where it comes from, because women have a hard time just listening to men and letting them finish what they have to say, because y'all, like you said, get emotional and get reactionary instead of just stopping and listening. And if that was the case, then it's actually him that should feel like he was not being heard, not you. Yeah, and that so-called just slander that you referring to actually ended up leading to somebody being unalived that had nothing to do with the situation in the first place. Check this out.
So make sure a female's lying and that T-App and got a little girl unalived. That's crazy as fuck. So basically this lady posted her man on the T-App and said, ladies, what's T? Like 5 females commented, oh yeah, he just busted me down. He just did this. He just did this. The girls was flat out lying. Different states, brain never traveled before. And guess what? She went and checked him, and instead of asking him, hey, what's the deal with this? She just got to spazzing, right? And he like, hey, I'm a struggling father. I don't even have time to even know who any of these people are, right? She didn't care. She called her side nigga and told him to go beat bruh up. Guess what? Bruh didn't come beat bruh up. He came, stayed outside and just shot through the house. When he shot through the house, he happened to hit bruh. Bruh didn't pass away, but he also hit bruh's daughter, little 3-year-old daughter. She didn't make it. How miserable do you have to be to comment on somebody's post saying their man smashed you and did all this to you, knowing you're lying, just to cause him and her friction and problems? Guess what? It caused a deeper problem than they thought. I hope whoever caused that is all sleeping with that at night. All 5 of them girls, I hope they sleep.
Man, prayers to you and your family, man. I didn't know, man. See what I'm saying? This shit's getting wild. This T-App is causing a lot of bullshit in the world. You know what I'm saying? It's causing a lot of bullshit. Shout out to the sisters that's in it to monitor what some of these women are really on that shit doing. But it's just showing you that's how wild and foul that some of these women are, and the extremes that they would go to carry a lie. Now, true enough, there would be some situations where some of the stuff with some of these men are more likely true. And we're not just saying, oh man, y'all just lying all through up and down the motherfucker. No, that's not what men are saying. But the slander, the accusations that some of you women are putting on this app is going to get a lot of you guys put in some serious trouble. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't either. You know, feel sorry for your, for your loss.
Sleeping with that little girl passing on their conscience.
Right. All over just slander that wasn't even true. The shit wasn't even true. The man never even traveled before. That shit was coming from people that wasn't even in the area. What the fuck are we doing out here, bro? Just being irresponsible and sloppy.
Why the fuck are you trusting anonymous bitches on this fucking T-App? Do not believe everything you read on there. I did a little experiment in the Denver T-App area, okay? So I posted a man that I met in Arizona like a while ago that there's no way anybody in Denver would have talked to him or seen him or anything. Like, he's never even fucking been to Denver. Just to see if some bitches would say something to stir shit up. posted it and I was like, we've been on some dates, things have been going well, just trying to see if like anybody else has been talking to him or seeing him. Some bitch commented, said we went on a date not too long ago. Like, bitch, you're a fucking liar. And then I commented back on it and I was like, you're fucking lying because I literally posted this guy who's not even from here. There's no way anybody would have gone on a date with him. So you're a fucking liar. These bitches straight up will just lie just to ruin some shit you have going on. And that's the other thing. Don't be posting your man because these bitches will come for him. I don't get why women trust other women just because they're women. Women are grimy as fuck too. And I've even had some male friends that have had shit said about them that's out of pocket, like to the fucking max. It's just not okay. So if you're gonna take anything from the T app, make sure you get receipts with it. Otherwise, don't fucking believe anything these bitches are saying. People love to be messy just to be messy. Oh, and the bitch literally deleted her comment after I said that, so she knows she's fucking lying. Fucking losers, lame ass bitches.
I think that the initial intention of the T app was like really good, especially if you're married. Because if you're not married, it really doesn't make sense. Somebody's past dating history is up to you to figure out based off their behavior, based off what they say, and based off what they tell you. If I'm going on a date with the girl, I don't want a sheet of all the guys that she's fucked in the last year. Like, I think it's just weird. I've been in the game long enough. I could tell, homie. I don't need you to tell me everything about her. I'll figure it out. And the reality is every single person, girl or guy out there, if they've dated a couple people, guess what? Their partners are not going to say wonderful things about them. There's always going to be something that isn't good. And that's why the relationship didn't work out. And then there are people that are just simply miserable because of their own dating history, because of their own traumas. And they want to go out in the world and anonymously ruin other people's dating lives. And I've seen this personally with myself because I'm on the T app myself and I've had a bunch of stuff said about me that is completely untrue. But I will also say this, there are some people that have been helped by this app. And those people are particularly married women that did not know what their husbands were doing when their husband was traveling, when their husband was out and about. And it's good for that reason. But if you're not married, listening to an anonymous app, we just know how the internet is without any receipts is a recipe for disaster.
Nah, she right. Those women are losers. That is loser ass behavior. Very loser behavior. I don't even know why you would do some shit like that. That's goofy as fuck. Again, like I said, sloppy, reckless, unnecessary. Like, what type of shit is that?
What the hell was that?
But this is what men were concerned about, and now you're starting to see all these stories come out of all this fake ass slander and lies being told, and look what it's causing. I got some more for you. I ain't done.
So y'all females must forgot that niggas got homegirls, you feel me? So me and my homegirl chatting up, and I brought up the T app, and she's like, "Oh, you wondering if you on there?" And I'm like, "Shit, let's go see." And she's like, "All right, bet. So let's go look." We was looking to see if I was on that motherfucker. Good thing I'm not on that bitch. But we come across one of our homeboys that we know real fucking well, and they in the comments saying all the shit that this nigga did, and we know this nigga ain't do that shit. So y'all getting on there lying? I thought the app was to keep y'all safe. You feel me? Like, what the fuck? Y'all getting on that bitch starting shit, gang? Like the app is supposed to keep y'all safe. Why the fuck are y'all on there showing, like, why are y'all on there clowning niggas saying that they dick little and shit? Or like, that's, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck does the nigga dick got to do with y'all safety? What the fuck does the nigga not being 6 foot tall with dreads have to do with y'all fucking safety? Just on there running.
The T app to see what all the hype is about. I have no business on there, but I wanted to mind everybody else's business. So I finally get in 3 days later. I'm scrolling through a list of men I'll never meet, never want to know, and don't give a fuck about. But I'm like, let me read these comments, because as soon as somebody got 18 red flags, I need to read the comments to see what the fuck is going on around me. But none of this is my business, and I should have never downloaded the app to begin with. I am more embarrassed for the women than I am the men on that actual fucking app. Big ups to the women that post, like, yes, he's abusive. There's a warrant against him for abusing me, blah, 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 like that. Those are the type of things I expected to see on an app. I was just being nosy. But I'm reading the comments, and y'all talking about does he fuck good? Does he fuck good? I don't give a fuck about that. You talking about does he fuck good? You bitch is okay. Does he fuck good on the T app? Stand the fuck up. Y'all should be embarrassed. That is I wish I could see y'all face. Because I need it. Y'all little girls, like, what is going on? This man got 30 red flags. You talking about does he fuck good? I gotta delete this app.
So that's 4 different examples that I just showed you guys. One of them ended up being the unaliving of a 3-year-old. And you're going to sit over here and try to tell me that that slander shouldn't be taken more seriously. Now, that's not to sit over here and try to invalidate women's experiences, because I was all for this app if that's what it's being used for. But this is the part that men were concerned about. And now you're starting to see more and more videos of like this coming out on TikTok. Because I'm like, this is only what I've showed you. Because I'm like, if I would have went down a rabbit hole, dude, this video probably end up being an hour long. Dead ass. Like, I was coming across a whole bunch of shit. Because, obviously everybody was talking about this. And then...
Yeah, man. And it's just crazy. I mean, that's about as much as I'm going to show as far as on that. I'm telling you, ladies, if y'all on that shit, starting shit, man, y'all need to stop. Y'all really need to stop. Now, if it's some legitimate things that you need to put out, okay, it is what it is. But if it's that, if you're so strong about it, stand on it. Why be anonymous on there? A lot of the bullshit that's being put on there is from anonymous people, or what a lot of these ladies actually do out here and make fake pages and then go that way. But it is what it is. That app is really showing the ill will of a lot of women out there. That app is really showing just how malicious and vindictive and just ignorant that some of you women are out here. Like I say, some of you women are agents of fucking chaos, man. But like, share, and subscribe. You here at the Black Bottom Line Roscast. If you are new, please hit the subscribe button. If you're coming in, please hit the like on the way in. Like, share, subscribe to the video, share it with your family, friends, and everybody else. Talk about it at the water cooler at work, however you want to do it. We're going to get off of, that stuff right now. We're going to get on something different. We're going to get back. And I touched briefly on it last week about Lil Nas X and the whole situation that he was doing and got himself into out there in California, walking around with his whitey tighties on 3-4 o'clock in the morning. And we want to know, is this like a humiliation ritual that he's dealing with right now? Because a lot of us think it is. A few people out here think it is, that he's going through a humiliation ritual, because he's been silent in the industry for quite a while. Like I said, I almost forgot about him until this video had popped up last week, doing that shit. So, we're going to go to the Tip Network. Shout out to the Tip Network. They talking about it. Corey Holcomb, he's always saying stuff. But if anybody's not, go subscribe to the 5150 show and tell them that the Black Bottom Roscast sent you. But we're going to see what they got to say about all this, too, about the humiliation ritual.
That we know personally that know people. And I'm saying out here in the Hollywood realm, the Hollywood guys that I know, I see who they are. And I will admit, there is envy because I know I don't fit in around them.
So Lil Nas X has been arrested and possibly OD'd. He was roaming around the streets of LA, and there's a video that a person who was riding down the street recorded of him that TMZ obtained.
That's going to be a beautiful sunrise.
Yeah, well, today, Lil Nas X woke up in custody 24 hours after his arrest for alleged battery of a police officer. This, as a report claims, he punched an officer in the face twice while roaming the LA streets in just underwear and cowboy boots.
There are humiliation rituals.
Yes. And sometimes they don't even get in. So a lot of these stars,
Now, if that's the case, I want to see the body cam. I'm just not going to just sit there and believe that shit. I'm sorry, and I'm not sorry. we be seeing plenty body cams of all kind of people. I want to see the body cam if that was the case, if he got arrested. Like I said, this could be a whole stunt just to get him back relevant and, you know, in the media. Because like I said, he's fell off. He ain't been really doing shit, ain't made no new music, ain't did nothing. This might be what, out, you know, like something for him to get back relevant. You know, so I'm not going to see, we can't believe everything that we hear and see. Some shit. And another thing, it being that time of night, and regardless if it was 4 o'clock in the morning, you're talking about California, one of the main California strips. Wasn't a car driving up and down that street. Wasn't no stragglers just walking. No homeless people you saw out and about, whatever. It was just him and whoever the fuck this was that was recording him. That's all we saw. You know, kind of make you wonder, like, okay, you don't see nobody, you didn't see a car, nothing. But then after this video, he so-called gets arrested because he assaulted an officer in his underwear. All right, I want to see the mug shot. I want to see the body cam.
Celebrities that want to get to, you know, the higher level, the A-list or whatever, they come to them to get in. And they're like, I don't want you. They pick and choose. Whoever could be the better puppet is who can get in. And yes, they be sacrificing family. They be doing a whole thing. Absolutely. But it's way more than that. And to get out of the contract, you see these humiliation rituals and things like that. You got to do a lot to get out of that. But you're going to get what you want in the interim.
But you ain't described to the people that the man was walking around in cowboy Carter boots and some tighty whities.
So at 4 a.m., Lil Nas was strolling down the street, and he's in Studio City. This is a popular street that he's on too. There were also people who spotted him who called LAPD and said, "Hey, there's a nude man walking down the street."
They caught Lil Nas X walking in his drawers around LA, bro. Nah, don't scroll, pay attention. Police claim that at 4 a.m., Lil Nas was walking around in his drawers, wilding out, dancing, telling people they was trying to come party, even trying to take someone's phone. When police pulled up on him, he charged at them. They detained him, took him to the hospital to see that if he was under the influence or something. Now, if they don't find nothing wrong with him, he's going to be charged by LA police. And he might end up on that list because he pulled a similar stunt in Miami, but he was wearing blue shorts with them cowboy boots. A lot of people say he always doing weird stuff like this every time he wants to sell music or roll out an album.
You made a comment about how you was one of the few rappers that never sold their soul. What made you say that?
Because I know majority of these rappers. Yeah. I know what be going on behind the scenes. I know who not really in control. You know what I mean? I know the real. You know, a lot of times people be blinded by what they see in these videos on TV, but I just know. I know what I know, man. You know what I mean? It's a lot of people that ain't being righteous and they ain't keeping it infinity because keeping it 100 ain't enough.
Well, you polite savages, every time I try to get out, they pull me right back in. I was all the way done with this humiliation ritual BS, blabble, blabble. It was swirling around in my head. So what did I do? I kicked on back and just started chalking it up to a lot of folks just being crazy, flexible, moist, not wanting to do what they're doing, but doing it anyway because they have to make a way. But then what happened a few days ago, I got on the old interwebs and seen Lil Nas X parading down the streets in some dang da-dun-da-duns and some cowboy boots, acting like a dang fool, overdosing on whatever he was overdosing on. And here I go all the way back to square one. Emasculation, humiliation, ritualization. Damn.
It sucks, right?
They say my hat came with a switchblade. Go
we
ahead.
all move here to try to make it. Some of us already were here. We were fooled to believe by America, our parents, our corrupt system that if you work hard and you are talented, that you have a shot at making it. And I think that normal heterosexual men have a right to be publicly outraged if you have to be that way to make it. That is not fair. That is not good business. That is not just. If you have to be gay or get it in the booty or whatever you call it to go to another level, why is it not publicly stated? It should be publicly stated. We should know this for a fact. You shouldn't have millions and thousands or thousands of people here moving here in droves who think if I do it this way, this is how it's going to work. It's not right. It's like it's secrecy. And when people operate in secrecy, it's to maintain control of something that is corrupted. I have a right to speak on anything that is corrupted by unjust, and I won't even say ungodly because I don't know what everybody believes in. But if that's the factor, just say it. Don't say a motherfucker ain't talented enough. Don't say a motherfucker ain't got what it takes, or we having this audition process with all these people and we gonna take the best person. Just say you taking who's if that's what it is.
And my friends, the rabbit hole goes deeper and deeper. Actors, rappers, public figures, dress wearers, and peanut butter dippers. Basically, the hardest of the hard, the hardest gangster, somebody who didn't grow up that way, may do something a little strange for some change to make sure that they get ahead in this game. And when we see it unfolding right before our eyes, you can say what you want to say, but all of a sudden, the most inflexible becomes flexible on any given Sunday.
You know, and you see things like the white party be there, and then they have Lil Baby like in a sandwich. They're hugging him from the front and the back and stuff.
50 Cent exposes Lil Baby's humiliation ritual at Michael Rubin's party. They got him. The video that sparked it all after Lil Baby recently went viral after a video showed him revealing fresh thigh tattoos while wearing a white tank top and a bright pink designer belt. While fashion and ink choices are usually personal, fans quickly noticed something strange. Baby's upper body is tattoo-free, making the bold lower body ink seem even more offbeat. That's when 50 Cent jumped in with his signature no-holds-barred commentary. See, this is why I don't go to no party Puffy in the mat.
More is coming, not just from
I
Diddy.
know.
One day people are gonna say Corey always said it was Bagdoria in that whole community. But
well, see,
go
that's
ahead. I'll wait it out.
but that's
I'll wait
one
it out.
thing. That's different.
Performing in a dress one time, I guess a couple years ago. And while he was performing, and this is when he's talking about the Lord Jesus Christ. While he was performing, he raised up that dress in the front. I said, God damn, Leo. If you're not shining the light from within, you chasing the light. You ain't shining the light from within, you chasing the light. In the process of chasing that light, you got to do things to get closer to the light.
Rumors have long floated online that high society celebrity events sometimes involve so-called humiliation rituals, symbolic acts or appearances meant to show submission or control within elite circles. And in 50's eyes, Lil Baby's pink belt, thigh tats, and distant energy all point to something deeper. They got him. He claims, "Get the f*** off my young ex," he said. But what does that mean exactly? One thing's for sure, when 50 talks, hip-hop listens.
Newcomer to the Met Gala, Shabuzi would also gain attention for his outfit choice, earning some criticism, citing its feminine look. Some have even labeled it as a part of the humiliation ritual in Hollywood. The country artist wore what appears to be a cropped women's blazer with a shirt filled with turquoise beads and pearls, along with a matching grill. The red carpet outfit would go viral on social media, causing conversation about his sexuality, contributing to the theory of the feminization of Black men in Hollywood. On social media site X, after seeing Shabuzi's outfit, one online user would ask, why does every Black man in Hollywood get forced into feminization once they reach stardom? That same user, identifying as gay, would follow the question up with another post, writing, even my zesty wouldn't wear this.
Why does every Black man in Hollywood get forced into feminization once they reach stardom?
I will be the outsider around them.
They don't fit in. They getting fitted in.
How about that?
But here, can I say something?
Pushed in big time homes.
I said, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Greetings, you polite savages, and welcome to another Tip Talk.
You ever had to pushed in? Which you pushed in? Simple question. Nah? Had my pushed in.
Oh, yeah, man. I had my shit.
Hey, brothers, y'all ever had your shit pushed in, bro? You don't want your shit pushed in, man. Like I said, that's why I'm not mad that I ain't in that kind of shit no more. I ain't singing no more. I'm retired. I'm doing a shot day. Okay? If I did get back on stage to do that shit again, it's just because I want to do it, not because they asking me to do it. Or they have to ask me to do it if I want to do it. But no, I ain't got to get involved in all that shit. But yeah, man, Shit's getting real. Shit's getting real. So that's the shit that motherfucker got to deal with, getting their shit pushed in and to really make it out here in this industry, man. It's foul, man. It's foul. It's foul. A woman entertainer calls out women who goes out and dresses like they out there working the streets. That's the next reaction we're doing from Charles Forte, you know, better known as Charles in Charge. He had something to say about all this, and we're gonna react to it. We're gonna see what the lady that's the street entertainer, the adult entertainer, got to say about some of you sisters out here mocking, you know, they flow. Y'all fucking up the church's money, y'all. You know, they proud of being good hoes. Y'all women out here, y'all doing this shit just for the fun of it and shit. And they don't like that shit. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it is what it is.
And why'd you pick them in the first place? Chop down screw. Why'd you pick them in the first place? Who girl talking about you?
After you get done cooking, you want to have a movie night?
Hey, you want to have a movie night tonight?
Yeah.
Yes.
What do you want to watch?
Let me think about it while I'm cooking, and I'll get back with you.
All right, it'll work.
Okay.
You decided on anything yet?
So I was thinking maybe we could watch Pirates of the Caribbean.
Okay, so you're feeling Disney.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Cotton, sir. Mr. Cotton, do you have the courage and fortitude to follow orders?
You enjoying yourself?
Yes.
Mr. Cotton.
I like this one. Much respect to all the ladies out there who are really walking in their femininity. It's not fake. It's not phony. They really do appreciate, respect, love, admire, care about the man that they're with. They show reciprocation. It's not about how much money that man can spend on them, but instead the quality time they get to spend with that man, because that's something you cannot get back. One thing for sure, two things for certain: when a man knows how much a woman really does care about him, about his real well-being, he's willing to go to the end of the earth for her because of how rare and how important that is. And while women today who do exhibit those qualities of modesty, femininity, truly caring about their man may not be as common today, I do hope for the men out there who do aspire for family in their future, and you deserve it because you did the work. I do hope you find that woman who truly is worthy of your protection.
And when it comes to people talking about how they hate men this, they don't need a man for this, I shut up. I zip my mouth because I do. I don't want to have to do this alone. Like, I do need a man. I do want a husband, and I do want to be a wife. Like, I don't subscribe to that that propaganda against women and against men. Like, there is going to be bad men out there, yes. Okay, you're going to come across a few of them. But there are great men out there, and you going to get one if you believe that, and I'm going to get one. So I will not be on the hate men train.
Yeah, shout out to the sisters that believe in that still have that mindset, you know, shout out to the sisters that admit they need a man. They want a man because they need a man, because that brings balance to themselves. You know, I feel bad for the sisters that don't feel that way. Maybe, keep looking, like Sade said, keep looking. You might find it. You might not, and if you're having problems with it, maybe sometimes you need to look yourselves in the mirror and figure out what is it that I'm doing that you're not getting that in return.
I never was on it.
She said a girl's girl also means holding women accountable, and I feel like women need to realize that, and that is so freaking true. Look, I have lost a dear friend of mine because I called her out on some of her bullshit. And she did not want to call me out on mine. But the difference is that I loved her so much, I could not continue to watch her destructive behavior. And she believed that she loved me so much that she would love me no matter what. And yes, I wish we could have unconditional love like that. But nobody talks about how painful it is and how much it actually affects you when you decide to hold on to relationships like that. At the end of the day, none of us were perfect. There were a lot of things that she called me out on after the friendship was already ended. And although it was painful to hear, I had to accept that as her truth and as mine. And yeah, I could be upset at the way things turned out. But sometimes you just got to take the lessons and learn how to be better for the next one.
This can go for both women and men. If a friend, someone who you have a deep bond with, someone who you trust, you value what they have to say, you know they genuinely care for you.
Oh, before I go any further, just shout out to anybody. I'm gonna give you a little advertising out here since StreamYard's been wanting me to put this out here. If you're new to streaming or looking to level up, check out StreamYard and get $10 discount. The code is right there. The link is right there for those that want to help their platform and use that, so you don't be so totally ghetto streaming. See what StreamYard has for you. They have different levels of their service. Pick the one that fits you. All right, that's it. That's my advertisement.
The same way you genuinely care about them, if they can't critique you, if they can't be honest and tell you about yourself and when you're messing up or when you're making a mistake or when you need to be better, if they can't be that honest with you, who can?
Man, when I say this, bro, but I'm gonna tell y'all as a swerker, bro, I'm a 304, a dancer or whatever, right?
Oh,
listen, don't dress for the attention that you do not want. Okay, you need to dress the part, because when you're out here wearing poster girl outfits, you're looking like me. What I do is I get money from dudes. You feel me? From being sensual and just using my looks and all of that. You feel me? Why do you want to do that if you don't want to be treated like that? If you don't like the girls that walk the corner or dance on the poles, why do you want to look like one? Why do you want to act like one? Don't you want to be treated like a Michelle Obama? So look like one. You know what I'm saying? Like,
not
you need
quite,
to look
but
the part. Like, for example, if I get a BBL and I go work in Dollar Tree, y'all gonna say, why do you have a BBL when you should be working in the club and all of this stuff? Like, you working at Dollar Tree or you working in the school with a BBL? Like, what's the point of that? You see what I'm saying?
Listen, who says strippers, these ladies who like to work the pole, can't have a little bit of insight every now and then? Because it is interesting. Women will dress like her, as she said. They will dress like they're getting ready to clock in for their shift at the gentleman's club and have a desire for loyalty and long-term commitment. And it just reminds me of that classic Dave Chappelle skit where he says, sure, you may not be a whore, but you're wearing a whore's uniform. And that shit is confusing.
Why when your husband say they don't like a certain clothing item on you, be it because they think it might be too tight, too revealing, whatever the reason be it may, why do some of y'all come on social media and ask our opinion about it? Because one thing about me, if my husband tells me that he doesn't like something on me, I'm taking it off, point blank in the period. Why? Because I actually value and respect his opinion. Not TikTok, not Instagram, and certainly not YouTube. I didn't marry y'all. The amount of times I see on social media women coming on, oh, my husband said these are too short. My husband said this is okay. Your husband doesn't like it, so just take it off. It's just clothes, my gosh. Oh, he's being too controlling. He's being too this, he's being too that. What? I be seeing comments with girls talking about, oh, you need to leave him. Leave him for some clothes? Is it really that deep? It's clothes. If he doesn't feel comfortable with you in it, then respect that. Just take it off, find something else to wear. You got 1,000 other items. It's really not that deep. I actually like to keep my husband happy. I want him to look at me.
I mean, think about that for a second. Yeah, she is spitting. She's spitting that fire. Like Dylan. She's spitting fire, hot fire like Dylan right now. You would literally tell a female, a woman, to leave their husband over some clothes. That just shows you just how much chaotic minds dwell amongst us in our society, man. Who the fuck are you to say what? Why? Why you gonna tell her to leave her man? Why? So you can go scoop him up? You know what I'm saying? Cause hell, a lot of y'all be detectives any goddamn way. So 9 times out of 10, you probably see how that man move, how her husband move. So you gonna tell her, oh yeah, girl, yeah, leave him. He ain't shit. He insecure. And then 3 months later, you seeing her with your guy. See how fucking twisted some of you women are, man. Y'all talk about men twisted. All right, there's some men out here that be some ratchet ass shit. You know what I'm saying? But not to the level of some of y'all women. Some of y'all ladies out here, I'm trying to tell you. And you wonder why the title of this video, of this live stream is Are Black Women Really Agents of Chaos? Y'all can answer this question for me. I shouldn't have to answer that question. Are they?
Me and feel proud about what he has. If I'm wearing something that he doesn't like, honey, I'm taking it off. It's not that deep.
Well, that's because over enough time now, what's been drilled into the brains of women by society, by their mothers, by their mothers' mothers, by television, by movies, by media, by all of the powers that be that have an influence. They've taught women not to care about what men think, to do what they want because it feels good. But when a woman really does care about what a man has to say, she doesn't just dress for him. She actually includes him in on the process because that's how much she cares about his opinion.
I just had to be done with the gym content. I thought about it because I do like going to the gym, but keeping up with the gym aesthetic is just blowing me at this point. First of all, ladies, why are y'all dressed the way y'all dress going to the gym? And I feel like I had almost got caught up in that because sometimes you can see these cute outfits and you can see this stuff and it's like, oh, that's cute. And you don't even know that you're conforming to the ways of the world with that foolishness. Ladies, y'all got to cover up a little bit more. And I know you feel like, oh, it's not hurting nobody. It don't matter. But it's guys around. And I know y'all don't care about that. But you should because anyways. So then it goes to actually posting the content. Like when you try to jump on the aesthetic of gym content, everything that the females are doing is from the backside. You showing the squats from the back. You showing the RDLs from the back. You showing the back thing from the back. You just showing everything from the back. So
because they're not doing it for the results of working out. They're doing it for content to put on social media for the attention, for that dopamine hit. You know, the attention, you know, getting 1,000 likes in 5 minutes after you post it. You know, to get 100,000 comments from men that you're not going to ever meet or never going to have a chance with you in the first damn place that be simping. Oh, will you marry me? I didn't see all kinds of fucking comments over the years as far as what men do with these thirst traps. And that's all it is thirst traps. Yeah, okay. You know, and it'd be all right if maybe like y'all did it just to, you know, to interact with, you know, whoever you're trying to get this attention from, but they're not even doing that. You know, if my goal is to get a bigger booty, I mean, then that's your goal. But why show a video of you doing it while your ass is all right there in the fucking video? You know, I mean, that's great. You know, how about showing a before and after, you know, if you're going to do it that way. But yeah, you know, a lot of these women are taking this gym shit way over the top. And some women are actually getting banned from some of these places for even having their videos set up in this place, because it's supposed to be a place to exercise and to work out, not to make content. You want to do that at the privacy of your home. You know.
So at this point,
they know what they're doing.
Content is now the up and coming OnlyFans content. Somebody could watch your gym content and get off, honestly. Like, seriously, when you really think about it. And I was just like, you know, as much as I want to post a gym content, ain't no need of me getting caught up in that because the wave of it, like the pull of it is a bit much for me. The outfits, they're a bit much for me.
Tell me one lie she's told. It's pretty much become softcore adult entertainment is what she's saying.
Oh yeah, to go back on what Big Mike said, yeah, and as far as the whole agenda with the brothers in the industry, oh yeah, Griff said that well over a decade ago. You know, for y'all that don't know, hey, go back and see some of Professor Griff's old videos, and he talked about that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's a thing. It's definitely a thing.
Because everything is shot so deliberately with keeping certain angles in mind to make sure they get ass cheeks in camera just right. Because women know that's what men like. That's what's going to trigger a man to want to click on it and get the views and the attention that she's looking for by sexualizing herself, even though they'll say they don't want to be sexualized. But because they can monetize that sexuality, they'll do it for a buck.
Okay, but like, how am I a pick-me if I've already been picked? I'm literally so confused. So many women on the internet tell me that I'm a pick-me, but I am literally married. So I'm actually not out here trying to impress any man at all. I'm called a pick-me when I talk about submitting to your husband, being respectful, being sexually available, being nice to him, acting like you like him, and genuinely liking your husband. And somehow, like, that is a bad thing. I'm very, very confused. I'm basically just convinced at this point that like 80% of women, maybe 70, I'll be a little nice. 70% of all women have literally zero wifely marital relationship skills, like at all. Majority of them have never seen a healthy marriage, have never been in a healthy relationship themselves. That's the only guess as to why they would call me a pick-me. But I'm gonna stay obsessed with my husband, and I'm gonna keep helping other women that be great wives.
Once you understand that there are just some people who they hate what they'll never be able to have, but they still want it, and they hate.
And that's all it is for those that say that about you. Any woman that's doing what they need to do, you know, on the level of being good to their significant other, and you know, you're getting ridiculed and talked about being a pick-me and all this other shit. They wish they had it. They wish they could be that person, and they don't know how to do it. Just like when you were a child, and you know, and you like somebody in your class, and you don't know how to express your feelings, so you do little love taps, or like with some of the little rockhead boys that do a push on the girl, and you know, throw stuff at them, stuff like that, because they don't know how to express their true feelings about them. You know, if you can't express your true feelings about these people, why don't you just say that? If you know you're socially inept, just say that. You know, it's okay. There's an app for you. There's help for you too, but there's an app for you.
Who they'll never be able to become, but they still want to be them. Then you understand, and what you're hearing is jealousy, envy, a desire from those people who actually do want more, but they're just not willing to put in the work in order to have it. They believe that they should be able to remain whoever they are, no work necessary, but get all the results that they believe they deserve.
I just got so much backlash off of a video that I made talking about how my husband said something to my kids. I don't go against that in front of them. And I stand on it. I had women calling me a pick-me, saying that that's going to be abuse for my kids, and all kinds of crazy, reckless stuff in the comments. But you know what? Yeah, you're right. I am a pick-me. And my husband picked me. That's not abuse. That's showing that my husband is the head of my household. That's showing how much I respect and the admiration that I have for my husband, of him being the provider of my home. Y'all are tripping. And this, my friend, is the problem that we're having right now. You grew up 9 times out of 10 in a single parent household. You didn't see your mama getting told nothing. You saw her running everything. And my friend, now you're doing the same thing. I even had somebody in the comments say, yeah, no, I'm the provider. I am the head. That is wild. And honestly, that gotta be so exhausting to have to bark orders all day long, all the time. Never being able to just sit back and be. My heart go out to her. And any other woman that's always the head and always running stuff in her house. Because When will you get a break? All right, bye.
Never. The answer is never, because of their desire to constantly be combative rather than cooperative, and because of their inability to actually understand the value that a man really brings beyond him being a human ATM or a tool that they can pick up and put down at their leisure or convenience. That sort of mindset acts as an instant deterrent to any man who can see clearly exactly what he's getting himself into and wants no parts of it.
And that's why a lot of single family ran homes ran by women are chaotic, no structure, kids doing whatever, and it's just chaotic. It's just a big mess. But 9 times out of 10, all the women that are saying this kind of stuff are single women. I'm sure they don't have a man, ain't never had a man, and probably never going to get a man. Shout out to everybody that's out here tonight. I hope everyone enjoyed the show. If you do have any questions, comments, or concerns, if you have anything else that you might want to add as far as for future live streams, feel free to do that. I will be wrapping this up right about now. Hold on. I was just about to do something. Hold on. I appreciate it. I try my best. Like I said, I'm struggle streaming, double streaming. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. And hold on here. Just have some other things going on. I'll be back at it this Friday. Shoot. Hold on. My computer acting crazy. I'll be back at it again on this coming Friday, 10 p.m. Central. We're going to get up out of here. I really appreciate all those that did tune in. If you are not subscribed, please subscribe to the show. Okay, cool. It's all right. We'll definitely discuss that. And with that being said, like my man Sinful the Peace said, I want you to live as long as you want and never want as long as you live. You here at the Black Bottom Roscast. We are gone.